when Nico was here, I think probably was a different mindset than there is now. How's it changed? How do you feel like maybe you've morphed and changed over the last couple of months? And kind of what's your mindset heading into the competition?
Yeah, I don't know that it has changed a much. I've always tried to have a pretty good mindset, a mindset of working hard, doing what I can to help my teammates, help this team win. And then as far as going into camp, I'm excited. I'm excited for what this team can do. I'm excited to get better every day.
Did you expect after the spring that the odds were good, that another quarterback would be added to the room? And what was it like when that did happen?
Yeah, I did expect that. And I expected it to happen. It did happen.
What's that relationship like been with Joey since he's been integrated into the program?
Really good. Me and Joe have become pretty good friends. He's a good guy. He's a funny guy to be around.
Jake, when you went against Colton Hood in some 7-on-7 this summer, what have you seen out of him? What do you feel like makes him a guy that can come in and play right away?
Yeah, I actually played against Colton in high school as well. He was a really, really good player, and he's been good all summer. I'm excited to compete against him during camp.
When you guys have went against each other, have you gotten him a few times? What's that competition?
I always joke with him because when we played him in high school, I actually went in at DB, and so I kind of messed with him about that a little bit. But it's been really good. It's healthy competition.
Jake, just how much did the gears shift for you after what happened at the end of spring and going into the off season? Your mindset.
I don't think it did. I told him the same thing. I'm just excited to play, excited to get into camp, learn and continue to get better every day.
You referenced being good friends with Joey. How does that dynamic work when you're good friends, you're also competing? Like, how does that play out and show up?
Healthy competition, I would say, is the best way to put it. You're outside of the facility, you're hanging out, joking around. You come out to practice, and we each want something, and we compete for it.
Coach Heupel mentioned in there, there's no time to be young, when you're in this program and fighting for whatever you're fighting for. Talk about that aspect of it and how you've got to handle this like it's a job.
Yeah, Coach says that a lot. Young guys don't have time to be young, and, it's a great point.
Jake, sticking with that, you look at it, same deal at receiver as it is a quarterback at center. How much how much does that add to the sense of urgency when you've got just a lack of experience at those key spots that are a big part of what you do?
Yeah, I think, like you said, we're urgent, but I don't think it's you say a lack of experience, but I think those guys are ready to play. They'll be ready to play when the time comes.
Did you do anything fun this summer?
Not really.
No?
Play football. That's fun, but no vacation or anything like that.
Jake, what's the best team bonding you all done this summer? I know probably one or two guys. They talk about like a big full thing that kind of ended up with like 60 or 70 guys.
Yeah.
Kind of getting to know each other more in depth. Like what kind of team bonding did you enjoy the most this summer?
We went to F1 racing. I had a lot of fun there. That was a good time. Those go-karts go really fast, and we just got to bond with each other, joke around, compete a little bit, and some racing. That was fun.
What did you see from George in the spring and this summer coming in fall camp?
Really good stuff. I really like George. Super talented, works hard.
How would you describe his personality and kind of who he is as a quarterback?
Fun, competitive, good to be around, good guy.
And how would you say your mental game has grown? I know going into last year, you knew you were kind of going to be, back up, but going into this year, you're competing.
Yeah, it's grown a bunch. Just my knowledge of the game, being in the film room, being around the coaches has grown so much this offseason. I'm excited to, put that to work during camp.
How grateful are you to be able to compete at starting quarterback for a program like Tennessee?
Super grateful. I don't take that for granted at all. I really love this place. I'm excited to put on the tee every single day, so I don't take that for granted at all, and I'm super excited for it.
What are the things you feel like are most important for you to show during the preseason here to put your best foot forward?
I feel like all the things that Coach Hype said when he talked to the media, just competing hard, leading my teammates, resetting after each play, playing another one like it's a new one.
Coach Halsley said, a lot of times in quarterback competitions, guys are trying not to lose the job rather than going out there and trying to win it.
Yeah.
How much of a regular reminder do you think that has been and will need to be to make sure you stay in that right mindset?
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point. Just go out there and play with no fear of failure. Don't go out there thinking if I do this, if I do that, I won't win the job or I will win the job. I feel like that can kind of, get in your head a little bit. So just excited to go compete.
He also talked about the difference between aggressive and reckless. How fine of a line is that?
It's a really fine line, actually. It's, you don't want to play reckless, but you do want to play aggressive enough, to create explosives and make plays happen.
How often are you as quarterbacks getting the receivers and tight ends doing 7-on-7 kind of on y'all's own?
Oh, often, every day.
Do the coaches have rules to kind of like how often, just to make sure nobody gets hurt or anything like that?
Yeah, they do. Just kind of like player load rules. There's Jerome, our sports science guy, is really good about player load, making sure guys don't overwork themselves.
Got a fun one for you.
All right.
I can't trust you if,
And wait, how do I answer this question?
like, you can't trust that person if something.
Okay. You stumped me. I don't know. I can't trust you if you smack your food while you eat. It's really annoying.
Who on the team would be your emergency contact?
Ooh. Amari Jefferson.
What did you see from Mike going from year 1 to year 2, the jump he's made this offseason?
Huge jump. I came in with Mike, obviously. We're really good friends. He's worked really hard this offseason. Mental game, his body looks different, so I'm excited to see that guy compete.
How would you say he's different as a receiver from last year to this year?
And just knowledge of the game and then growing, obviously. I mean, he's a year older. It's his second year of college. That just really maturing.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Forgive me if you've already been asked this, but how have your expectations kind of altered since earlier after last season and now starting this season?
Yeah. Like I said, they haven't really changed. I mean, compete every day. I'm excited to go into camp.
What kind of conversations do you have with the coaches regarding the quarterback room? I know they've said they've not established a starter and they won't, set a date on that. But what kind of talks are you having about that?
We don't really talk about it necessarily. We're focused on ball. We're focused on camp.